Hello students, once again welcome to our channel. We are going to start chapter 5, Poets and Pancakes. It is written by Ashoka Mitran. Ashoka Mitran is a film writer who had a stellar career in Tamil films. Ashoka Mitran takes us on a journey to a time when studios were the stars than actual individuals. The makeup department he used to work in always worked with the company called Pancake. We are going to discuss now about the main characters of the chapter. First, Ashoka Mitran himself. He is the author of the chapter and an employee of Gemini Studio. Ashoka Mitran's work was to cut newspaper clippings, paste these and maintain a file of the same. The other staff looked down on his job and believed themselves to be superior to him. Office boy. The office boy was not really a boy, but a grown-up man. He was 40 years old. He was in charge of crowd makeup. Though his job was an easy one, he considered himself to be the skilled artist. He had once aspired to be a star actor on a top screenwriter. He blamed Subbu for his failure. Next is Kotha Mangalam Subbu. Kotha Mangalam Subbu was number 2 at Gemini Studio. Though he definitely came from a less advantaged background, the office boy, being Brahmin by birth, had given him better exposure than the office boy. He had the ability to look cheerful at the all time, and his undivided loyalty was Vasan. The principal of Gemini Studios was Mr. Vasan. Extremely creative, Subbu directed all his talent to his principal's advantage. Next, legal advisor. Like Subbu, the story department of Gemini Studio also had a lawyer, officially known as legal advisor, though better known for opposite reasons. While every other member of the story department wore khadi dhoti and white khadi shirt, the legal advisor wore pants and a tie, and sometime an oversized coat. He is described as a man of cold logic in the crowd of dreamers. He was responsible for destroying the acting career of highly talented actress by his irresponsible behavior. Stephen Spender. Stephen Spender, an English poet, editor, and one-time communist, came to Gemini Studio and gave a speech. His lecture was about communism on one side and about his struggles to establish as a poet on the other. The content of the speech and the accent of the poet left everyone utterly bewildered. The reason for his visit remained an unexplained mystery. Ashoka Mitran later discovered that Stephen Spender was editor of British periodical Encounter. When he accidentally changed his Spender's essay on communism in the book, The God That Failed, Ashoka Mitran understood the connection between English poet Stephen Spender and owner of Gemini Studio S.S. Vasan. So let's move on to the chapter summary. Let's see what all things are there in the chapter. Let's start with the theme first. The chapter has been taken from My Years with Boss, written by Ashoka Mitran. Though this write-up, Ashoka Mitran brings up a lot of topics pertaining to film industry in particular and India in general, and provides the reader a glimpse of independent India in its infancy. Ashoka Mitran also tells about the manner in which the legal advisor ruins the career of talented actresses unwittingly. Communism also finds a place in the musing of Ashoka Mitran. At that time of India, the educated folk took pride in showing their support for communism, and Gemini Studios was no exception. He also mentions the anti-communalism movement run by the West. Let's start up with a summary. The essay, Poets and Pancakes, is an extract from Ashoka Mitran's book, as we have already discussed earlier. Ashoka Mitran talks about his days in Gemini Studio. He is known for his humor and genuine satire. He explains us about the makeup material. The brand name of his material was Pancake. The material was brought and used in the studios. He gives the name of the material, Pancake, which was used by many few actresses. He suggests that makeup department was located in a building which was believed to be Robert Cleve's stable. However, there were several buildings associated with Robert Clive's residence, but this was not true as Clive's stay in India was very short-lived. Further, he gives a description of makeup department as a symbol of national integration and makeup room as hair cutting salon. Pancake and many other lotions made actors ugly as it was necessary to make them presentable in the movie. In the makeup department, there was 40-year-old office boy with dream of becoming a star or director or a lyrics writer. His dreams remained unfulfilled, making him frustrated. For this, he blamed Subbu, who was number 2 and favorite of the boss. The writer tells about poets who used to wear khadi and believed two communists were monsters. He even tells about legal advisor who had been the member of story department. He was at odds in the department and lost his job with the closure of story department. The legal advisor had even once brought an abrupt end to the promising career of talented actresses. The Gemini studio even hosted a 200-strong moral rearmament army, which showed 2 plays in the most professional manner. The plays became good success and left their impression on Tamil drama. Later, the writer, however, learned that MRA or Moral Rearmament Army was actually a counter-communist movement. The writer tells us about Subbu, a man of many abilities and kind-hearted person. However, the office boy felt jealous of him and cursed him. The writer humorously tells of an English poet's visit to the studio. Though royal preparations were done, but the purpose of his arrival was a mystery for a long time to come. At the studios, they had never heard the poet's name before. Further, they did not understand what he spoke. The poet also perhaps felt baffled. Ashoka Mitran's duty at the studio was to cut the newspaper clippings on several issues and store them in files. However, anyone who saw them tearing newspaper thought he had no work. Thus, everybody wanted to deliver some work to him. The author saw a notice in Hindu. A short story contest had been organized by a British periodical called The Encounter. The writer desired to send an entry. However, he wanted to know status of periodical. But this, he went to British Council Library. There he found it. He learnt that editor of the periodical was Stephen Spender, the poet who had come to Gemini Studios. After his retirement, he came across a book titled That God Failed. It has 6 essays about failure of communism. One of these essays were written by Spender. The mystery of Spender's visit to Gemini's studio was cleared. Perhaps it had something to do with his anti-communist perspective. So here we are done with our chapter 5, Poets and Pancakes. Hope you have understood all the important points of the chapter. Thank you.